my first term as local chief executive, our internal revenue allotment was 103 million pesos. Our local revenue was only 12 million pesos, and our asset was only 200 million. We are landlocked, bypassed due to the diversion road that connects two highly urbanized cities, namely Naga and Legazpi City. We were stagnated for decades, which means we were really poor. That explains why health has never been a priority during my first term. We cannot even afford to provide all the basic services to our constituents. Not to mention that 6 natural disasters of our region, flooding, landslide, erosion, earthquake, eruptions, and typhoons. These are the impediments and hindrances, at the same time challenges, on how to make our city progressive and resilient. There were 2 subsequent super typhoons came and damaged our city. Milenio, 195 kilometers per hour, and Riming, 265 kilometers per hour. Flooding occurred up to 2.3 meters in the central business district. Soil mass movement created a dam of mud with its debris flowing through the built-up area of the city. Our housing project, in partnership with Gawad Kalinga, were all destroyed. Here comes February 2010, at the onset of El Nino. Wildfire occurred at the eastern part of Mount Iriga, damaging 700 hectares. It was the indigenous people and village officials who volunteered to arrest the fire. And now, COVID-19, the most strenuous and tough battle. For the first 5 months, we remained COVID-free city. But when the government opened the gates for locally stranded individuals, authorized persons outside residence, businesses, though there's really no dichotomy between health and business, but however, the sudden surge of positive cases is inevitable. All our friends, relatives, department heads, employees got infected. And I even had my COVID scare when I got exposed to them. I voluntarily quarantined myself until the official result of swab PCR test was released. Now comes Quinta, which aggravated the entire scenario, contact tracing at the same time, rescuing the evacuees, and not a pretty sight to see. After a week, here comes Rolly, a super typhoon with the same path as Quinta. I love Iriga so much. I was born here, I grew up here, and I will die here. This is the reason why I work 24/7, 100% dedicated and committed and doing my best to put Iriga in the map. Those experiences are our tipping point. We transformed into resilient, adaptive, and creative leaders. When we saw the community participation, everybody went out of their way to help. All sectors were passionately devoted to help every disaster that gets in the way. We realized that bridging leadership is indeed very effective to encourage everyone to share their sense of ownership, co-ownership, and co-creation. As long as the leaders set apart differences, committed to attain a goal, work collaboratively to all the people, equip, capacitate, and invest on human development, work as influencer, then advocate the law of the lead strategy, everyone will participate and cooperate to all endeavors. Now, due to the trust and confidence, our poverty incidence went down from 39% to 17%. Unemployment rate from 37% to 7%. Our ERA is 650 million pesos. Our local revenue is 130 million pesos. And our asset, which is usually the basis for borrowing capacity, is 1.5 billion already. We were able to pay UP Planades to mentor us with our CLUP, including our climate and disaster risk assessment, which is known as CIDRA. And it is also part of our ELA, Executive Legislative Agenda. Now we have our own city hall. All economic enterprises are earning. ICT building, gymnasium, dialysis center, expansion of the slaughterhouse, solid waste management compliant, City Health Annex 2 will be serving our people in the mountain area, ongoing construction of the Iriga Amusement Park, and also our Level 1 hospital. Veggies on Wheels, which evolve into rolling store and satellite markets to assist the local farmers to earn and maintain their livelihood. We are SGLG awardee, Seal of Good Financial Housekeeping, and other awards bestowed upon us by the national government agencies and international as well. But this does not stop here. We will continuously work hard and will deepen our commitment to resilience at the individual, institutional, and community levels. Thank you, NRC and Arise, for your unconditional persistence and dedication in helping us to achieve a better and more sustainable future. God bless us all.
Diyos maray na apon po kaninyong amin. I am Ms. Yorobe Alfelor, the CDRRM Officer and the Chief Resilience Officer of the Iriga City Resilience Council. I will be presenting to you the roadmap of Iriga City through the National Resilience Council's Prepare Phase, indicators, and their guidance. Assistance in building local resilience through transformative leadership of our proactive Mayor Madelaine Yorobe Alfelor. Iriga City is a small city located at the south of Luzon. It is composed of 36 villages or barangays as we call it, 18 of which are flood-prone and 11 barangays are landslide-prone secondary to typhoon. Suddenly, Bicol region, where Iriga City was located, has become one of the targets of typhoon. And yes, typhoon has created their own path towards our region and expecting the 18th typhoon, Rolly, this weekend, as forecasted by the different weather experts. And with an active stratotype volcano, the Mount Asug, where there are 9 barangays located at the foot slope and where rain-induced landslide becomes as a threat. Resiliency is a long-term goal, but if we started planning young, we would be able to integrate them in all our local plans. Among the mandated plans, Climate and Disaster Risk Assessment, or CIDRA, is a basic component in the development of the City Development Plan, CDRRM Plan, Executive Legislative Agenda, and the CLUP together with the UP Planades. Highlighting the Human Development Pillar, which exemplified the city's capacity to confront the COVID-19, the city accomplished the following that keep the cases of infection relatively low and under control. Activated the Emergency Operations Center and Incident Management Team with expanded membership, issuance of specific policies, guidelines, circulars, advisories, memorandum directives, and administrative or executive orders to effectively carry out IATF, MEID guidelines, and other issuances by the national agencies. Ensure the continuous and unhampered flow of basic goods, commodities, and services. Strengthened public health system services and personnel covering all components of the minimum public health standards. Support education on blended learning and digital infrastructure, providing social welfare benefits to affected population, implementing the price control, price freeze, and price monitoring, ensuring informed citizenry through different social media platforms, end-to-end early warning, murals, instructional flyers, bandilyo, infographics. Activating business continuity plan and service delivery to client, volunteerism by various groups as force multipliers such as TODA, Tricycle Operators and Drivers Association, Barangay Peacekeepers, Barangay Health Emergency Response Team or the BHERTS. Implementation of innovative programs such as Veggies on Wheels that transformed into urban organic agriculture and community gardening, the Bagsakan Center, Eye Contact mobile application as the official contact tracing system, and provision of psychosocial services, livelihood trainings at quarantine facilities, support programs for MSMEs, LSIs, and ROFWs, allocation of co-working spaces for startup business, students, researchers, and prospective ICT enthusiasts. A pilot project called Millennium Development Goals, Family-Based Actions for Children and Their Environs in the Slums, MDG Phases, provided livelihood, education, and health services to selected 40 indigent families in slum areas. These beneficiary families were regularly monitored and validated. As a result, their quality of lives improved, increased income, improved health condition, and children in school. Another significant milestone that the city adopted is the formulation of the local rehabilitation and recovery program, focusing on the 5 thematic areas of response as follows: livelihood and business development, agriculture and fisheries, social services, health services, and infrastructure development. One thematic area of concern which was given priority during her administration is disaster resiliency and environmental protection, covering the following policies: continuous advocacy programs on disaster resiliency and climate change adaptation to ensure a safe, healthy, and livable community. Promote the restoration, protection, and preservation of the city's biodiversity by a united and empowered people to ensure its stability and sustainability through multi-sectoral participation supported by strong and responsive good local governance. Strengthen advocacy on policy formulation, community consultations and IECs, area investigations and assessments, profiling, resource-based inventories and surveys, promotion of clean air, clean water, and healthy landscapes as foundations of a sound economy, environment, and quality of life. Adoption, promulgation, and prescription of policies, rules and regulations, and environmental quality standards consistent with laws and circulars for the prevention and control of pollution. Iriga City has laid the basic foundation for a resilient community by launching relevant programs, projects, and activities that will ensure the capacity of the population in coping with various challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic. The people were continuously provided with the basic needs and services to further strengthen through a resolve and ability to deliver right decisions in effective programs, attendance to various leadership enhancement in capability building sessions like Bridging Leadership Course with the Department of Health and the Zwilig Family Foundation that facilitated the transformation of the city's public health system, which admittedly was not among the early governance priorities. Participations to community practice like Kaya Natin movement and League of Cities of the Philippines as one of the city development strategy and the public governance system of the Institute for Solidarity and Asia. Iriga City is also a member and knowledge sharer in various international leaders association such as CityNet, UNISDR, UCLG ASPAC, Unitar Cefal, and UCLG World as treasurer. The frequent invitations and participation to different events caught the interest of several overseas development assistants, bilateral and multilateral and public-private partnership when they provided the city with the following grant projects. This platform contained advocacy program on good governance to ensure that all strategies and approaches in decision-making will generate participation from the stakeholders. Approaches includes ownership, co-ownership, and co-creation accentuated her transformational leadership. These engagements of the local chief executive undoubtedly helped in accomplishing the city's resilience scorecard as well as the city's robust financial, social, and human development indices speak for themselves. Looking back, I was hesitant and had doubted my ability to run the office and where to start. I thought actions during rescue and operations are the main concern of the office. But going through the experiences each year the city had, the efforts of the entire council and the support given by the community itself through volunteerism and their active participation matters most. After introducing comprehensive activities from planning to building individual and community resiliency to recovery and finally building back forward towards a sustainable place, thereby achieving SDG goals, finally, life is a continuous learning process. We are not able to master our craft due to numerous unavoidable and inevitable circumstances. But this made Irigeño a resilient Irigeño, proactive, and our advocacies in DRRM has just begun. We wanted to share our challenges and best practices to the different sides of the world and encourage different agencies, organizations, and the people itself to invest in DRRM. Thank you very much. Basta Bicolano, preparado. Basta Irigeño, alisto.